Hello YouTube and welcome back to Cities Skylines, the UK series where we're going to be building the city of Affenford, this time in a live stream. Last time out we were actually going along, I think we built, let's see, where are we? Here we are. Last time out we were building some farms over here, as you can see. And I have done a little bit of things between the last episode and this one, but not really much, as it were. But I have done a number of things. Now, I'm hoping that this stream is better quality, so you're going to have to tell me. I've done a couple of tests, or I'm testing a new setup, so we should have a higher bitrate, therefore a higher stream quality. Also should be 1080p. That's the theory. Anyway. Off camera between episodes and on a Patreon episode, I started getting all of these sort of contour lines in, as you can see, all over the place. And these contour lines are all to do with the way the farmland and the lay of the land is going to go. So you can see I've put them all in with trees right now. It's not all going to remain trees, of course, but for now there are a lot of trees. I've filled in some of the forests. You can see over here we've got a whole bunch of forestry. In this area we've got a load of forest or woodland over here. Little woodland there, there's a forest there, there's a forest or woods there, and then a massive amount over here. Now that's how things are going to be going today. That's what we're going to be starting with. I've done this entire area. We've got a little village here that I've put together. We haven't finished it, so this is going to be detailed. So it is all about detailing the countryside, so that is one of the things that's going to be happening. Other things that might occur in this one is we might set up this village. Another not massive village, but a fairly okay sized one. Perhaps similar to that size. The biggest village, of course, we have seems to be this one. This one definitely seems to be the biggest village, definitely the most detailed as well. I've also gone ahead and deleted this entire area of farmland because it just was not correct. So we're going to be doing some work on that. So I think that's where we should start. Let's start getting this side completed, the farmland on this side. Let's get some of that done. I would say let's put the forests in first, but given the way this is going to work, I really do not want to put the forests in. So I'm going to use the Find It tool, and I'm going to look for, of course, a tree. I like these 10 trees, and I do like putting the brush strength down to about 0.17. Let's have a look at what the distance is there. That seems like a decent distance, so I'll go for that. There we go. So that's going to be our distance. I'm also going to put on contour lines, and this is how we're going to figure out where the farms go. So you can see where the contour lines are, and that's where we're going to build some edges for farms to be built. So you can see this one here, this area is just terrible. So I'm going to replace it. See, I've taken now the trees all the way up to here. I'm going to actually replace it with lines that follow these contour lines. This is far more realistic for farms. So that is a much more realistic farm right there. And then we'll build up from there. So for example, in all honesty, that could end up being one massive farm. And I think I am going to use that as one massive farm. We'll then delete that, and then we'll work on the other bits that need to go in. But before we delete that, I'm going to add in some more of these tree lines. So I'm going to start from here. Now remember, initially, if you think about this, you wouldn't have had railways or anything like that placed anywhere, so you've got to take that into account. Now if we have a look at this, this seems fairly flat, as you can see. That's really quite flat. So what I could do is I could, in theory, do a straight line across there and then sort of have that as a potential edge on a farm. So if we go from here and I do that, that could potentially work for an edge on a farm, and then we're going to follow this line down and around. It doesn't have to be perfect, of course. What it does need is not to be able to block that. But a rough outline is all we really need here. So we'll go all the way along here. How far do we need to go? Well, we need to come out here and then go across there and then up and around there. That doesn't look too bad overall. So to be honest, I'm trying to figure out what this round section... I suppose we could, in theory, I'm thinking we'll bring that across and then straight across there. That's probably going to be more realistic. So I will do that. There we go. That's better. And then that can join up to that road over there. Looking good. Okay, now what I can do is I'm going to do this little bit, and I'm just wondering how we could do this. Perhaps I'll bring it around like that, and then in fact let's leave it like that for now, and then I'm sure I can delete things if I need to, as and when I need to. That's the beauty of City Skylines. It's the beauty of these city building games, full stop. There we go. Again, nothing has to be completely accurate. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect all the way. I do like this one though. This is interesting. There's a very, very specific farm shape here that I really would like to keep. So I do want to, because of the way the railway lines worked. That farm there, I really want to keep that shape. There. So I've already patched in a single farm. I also want to turn this area, I think, into some sort of woodland, because I think that would look good. That area in the middle as some woodland. So I'm going to place some trees, just border it off like that, and then we'll place some trees in the middle and see what we can do. In fact, I think I will actually make the woodland. I'll make it do that. We'll fill out the woods, and then I'm sure we can delete certain things and certain aspects of this. Let's see, what do we need to do next? Let's have a look. I've got that area. I suppose now what we need to do is figure out where the edge of this is going to be, and I quite like this as the edge over here. So I'm going to use this line as my... Actually, could I use... No, that's a good line. I do want to use the line I thought I was going to use. We could always swap it onto the next line potentially, but I want to use this line. So beyond this, you're either going to have no trees or just trees, but certainly not farmland. So this is where you do not get any farmland. I remember an area not too far from the England-Scotland border on the A1. That had something really interesting. They had some trees and stuff, and then they had the farm go right down, right onto the seafront, and it looks amazing. We were I was looking off a cliff. There was a railway as well, all the way down there. I might need to raise this taking a look at where this is growing, going, I might just need to raise that. Okay, that looks pretty good. What I'm thinking of doing is I'm actually thinking of redoing this road to follow this contour line, given that we are going down here. So I might end up redoing that road as well. Anything else to take a look at? Let's have a look. This line here we go. This is an important line, I think. Yes, I think this one here is very, very important. There we go. And then I think maybe we need to get rid of some of the trees in some of the areas. So we are going to have to go ahead and do that as well. But we're okay with some trees now. So if we have a look at that, we've got some trees. And as I said, I'm going to now fill in this area. So to fill in this area, I'm just going to use this. Bring up the brush size, get rid of that. And just fill it in with some of these trees, and then what I'll do is I'll mix it with some others. There we go. So that's some of those trees in. Now we just mix it with some of these trees, which will take some of the other spots. And what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to make sure that these edges are properly set up. And then we'll be able to put some walls around them, which is another thing that we're potentially going to be doing in this video. So there we go, I've got that, and I think there's one other type. I'm trying to use only 3 or 4 types of trees throughout the entire series, and the reason I'm doing that is purely memory. It's performance. I want to try and get the best performance I can from this. So the better the performance, obviously the better it is going to be. There we go. Okay, so there's some trees, there's a little bit of a wood. So if you had some farms there, you'd have then a load of trees along the edge. I'm quite happy with how that looks. I would actually quite like to have trees here as well. I'm actually half tempted to put a bunch of trees in here, and then we'll clear out an area, I suppose, for... Oh, could I do that? Here, let me put in some trees, nothing too major, and then I'm going to clear out an area for a farm, I think. Here we go. That's actually going to look a lot better. And given that we have a railway line, I'm actually going to take the liberty of doing this. There we go. That does look good. I think that looks pretty good. So just fill this bit in, fill this in, fill that across there, and that's starting to give us a lot more in the way of trees. I could even, I suppose with this, I know the contour lines go around. In fact, no, I'll leave the contour lines where they are, and then we'll build up from there. Of course, we've got 2 farms here now that we can easily have. We can have a 3rd farm here, perhaps a 4th. I'm just thinking about this area. Could a farm be useful here, or could we just fill this up with trees like that and then put some more along there? Let's fill this area up down here. So let's bring these contour lines up again, and let's use our single brush size and our tend once again, and see if we can do anything with these lines. Now this is fairly flat, so I'm not too concerned about that. I'd rather bring it down to this one here, this line here. There we go. I think that's a much better line to bring it down to. And as I said, I think I'm going to move that road. I'll move this road to follow this contour line, and then we'll do something with it. There's something strange going on here. I could just see a strange dip. It does not seem to be in line with this, but there is a strange dip right there. Sort of throwing me off. Okay, we'll get that all the way along. And then from here, I suppose if we take it all the way up to there, that's going to be pretty good for us to build up our entire bunch of farms. There we go. And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly accurate. I can always use the move tool if I want to make things a little bit more accurate in certain areas. Okay, so now we have that one. What else do I want? I'm not sure what I want here. Tell you what I do want. This area is beautiful for farming. If I just cut that out, this area is genuinely really good for farming. So what I'm going to do is I'll just do that, bring this around here. I'm going to fill this all up with trees. So let's make that area all trees, and then build some farms all in this area. And I think that's going to look quite awesome. It's going to look very much like this side as soon as that is completed. So let's go ahead and do that, get rid of that, close that, and add in some trees. There we go. Nicely populating the area. Then we'll move to split trunk, add in those trees, give it a little bit in the way of variation, of course. There we go, around there, around there. Oops, went slightly outside the range, but that's okay. Around like that, and then the column trees, see if they dot themselves in anywhere. Yeah, they're finding a few spots, and perhaps some regular mediums in this one as well. One thing that's important, especially in real life when planting trees, you should plant different types of trees, not just loads and loads of the same type of tree. The reason being, if one tree can't survive due to nutrients or whatever, it doesn't mean that all the trees will die. You have a chance of having other trees survive. So there we go. So there's another woodland area. This entire area is now going to become farms. So I am going to use the standard 10 tree to sort of denote where the farm's going to be, or the major parts of the farm, and then I'll start using bushes and all of that kind of stuff. So over here, of course, we have a farm that would run along here and then along the back of the railway, so that's fine. So we have a farm there. That's 2 farms. I'm then going to say that I would like to have, I'll tell you what, I would like that to be a farm. Would anyone have done a farm like that? I think someone could have tried. Someone could have tried to do a farm in that fashion. And then I think another reasonable farm is like that. And another reasonable farm is like that. That area I think I'm going to fill up then. We could have that as a farm. That could be a farm. Tell you what, let's bring the terrain tools up. Let's just bring the contours up. Oh yeah, these have no contours, so we can do whatever we want with these. Let's see. I'm going to do a farm like that. And then from that farm, I'm sure we can split this up into 2 or 3 different farms. For example, I will say... In fact, no, let's just leave them as large farms for now. And then over here, again, we've got a really good look here. I would say someone wanted a small farm like that. And then somebody else decided they wanted a large farm, which was then split into, let's say, along here. And then somebody split it along there. And another person decided to split their farm like that. So there's some farming, and then of course we'd say there was one more split, like so. So there's your farms split up, and this one perhaps continued and went across like that. And then this person had their own farm as that farm there. This person had a rather small farm that's extended like so. And then down here we're going to say that the farms tend to follow the routes like this. So at a farm that went sort of like that, we'll have another farm that came out from, let's say, over here, went down like that, and then perhaps slightly in that direction. This farm continued along here. That's a rather large farm, to be honest. These ones are going to be interesting. Where would you have splits on these? Realistically, I'd probably take a split there. So that was a farm. And then this one would probably be... Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. I'll come back to decide that one. Because first let's work out any more of these. Of course, what do we want to do with the farms up here? Because this area looks very, very farmable. Farmable? Is that a word? That's a word. It is now. Farmable is a word. Let's go ahead and make that a farm. And then we'll make this a farm. That's a rather large farm. And then that became a farm. And then this became a farm or a clump of trees. I guess we'll decide whether that wants to be a farm or a clump of trees. Okay, how are we looking now? That's starting to look pretty good. That's starting to look fairly detailed. We just need to bring it down to this end. Fill in some more trees, I think. No, actually, I think the trees are doing quite well on both sides. I do think the trees are doing rather well on both sides. And this is certainly starting to look a lot more realistic as opposed to what we had before. So let's oh, that's what I need to do. There is one part that immediately needs to go. That's this area here. Before we continue, there we go. And perhaps we'll just remove some of these trees that were popped in along here. There we go. So we've got another area for farms. That's potentially useful. We'll have to see. Again, I'm sure we can figure something out there. But that's just starting to look a little bit better. Right. What's next on the agenda? What's next on our list? I think yes, we should bring it all the way down to this area down here. So that is what I'm now going to do. Same thing there, and let's figure out perhaps another line. I'm trying to find another potential line. I think I mean, the way this thing goes up a hill is also quite remarkable. I think this line is a reasonable line. That's one there. So I'm going to take it. I mean, I could, if I wanted to, I could put contour lines on trees on every contour line. But I chose not to. Whoops, that went a little bit wobbly. Okay, there we go. And we'll go. Now that's an interesting one again. I certainly know where a bunch of woodland's going. This is all becoming trees, that's for sure. But as to all of this, where do we stop the trees? Where do we stop trees? Where do we build other things? I think what we could do is we can do this, do that, fill this up with trees, fill this area up with trees. This area's got to be farming. This is perfect farming land here. Absolutely perfect farmland. Bring that all the way along. And look at how that's creating a really nice area for us. A little thin strip that we could do something on. There we go. All the way up to there. Then we're going to sort out this area, but that's not something to focus on right now. This is the area we are currently focusing on. Right, in terms of farms, I think we could go up like that. Across there. There's a farm. Then I can say we'll go across there. There's another farm. There, and then there we go, there's another farm. They're looking okay. We'll do that like so. Could that be one farm or two farms or three farms or woodland? That's another decision we could take. These are rather large farms, I'll admit. And over here, I think we do that, perhaps that, and then cut this in the middle. There we go. That's another farm. And then this area becomes woodland, or something of the sort. Okay, that's fairly good. This area down here, I'm thinking we'll do some woodland all along here, so that's how that's going to go. This area looks great for farming in some ways, so I'm going to put a farm like that. This is where I'm not sure what's going to happen. I know for certain that a farm like this will probably look good, but I'm not too certain about any other type. And what I could do is I could do that, and then that. There you go. Have some smaller farms along there and some larger farms here. That's probably better overall. After all, we do not want the farms to be too big. Let's take a look at what it looks like right now. It's looking okay. We do definitely need to put the trees in. I'm going to put the trees in down here now. Otherwise it's just not going to work for us. Here we go. Okay, that's some of the trees going in. Just pop. In fact, I'll make this smaller so we can actually start populating the trees in here. Where I know I'm probably going to have to start doing other things, but we'll pop the trees in like this, and then again I'll bring the brush size up, try and fill out some of the area, and then we'll do more. I'll just use 2 tree types here. As a matter of fact, I think I should probably just do this with the trees. This is probably going to get me a much better working of the trees. There you go. That's probably a slightly better working of the trees there. I kind of would like to put trees here. That seems like a reasonable place to put trees. I'm not sure if it is, but it seems like a reasonable place. I would like some trees there. I'm going to put some trees there. Here you go. And change the tree type to split trunk. We'll put some of the regular trees in here as well, or regular style. Regular medium. There you go. You can, a few of you can pop in. Then we'll just delete the ones along the edges that are sort of out of the area. There we go. And now delete. You there are out of the area. You're out of the area. And there we go. There we have it. Some more trees. That's pretty good. And that gives us, that's a lot of farming actually. That's a lot of farming area. It does look far better. Those details just work. Those details really do just work in that entire area. Let's have a look. What else do we have here? Well, we've got some trees here that have gone out of the area. Let's clear them out as well. There we go. And we've got this entire area that we could fill up with some farmland. This area, of course, is not filled up yet, so that's the next one to do. How does a hillside look there? I think we could do rather large farms in this area, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for really large farms, stretching out from here. There you go. And we could actually connect this. Look, there you go. There's a connection there, and connect that roughly. That's okay. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. You have some very, very large farms. So you have some small farms, some medium farms, some large farms, some odd-shaped farms. This one just doesn't. I'd prefer to try and maybe straighten that line out a little bit, and then straighten that to make that a little bit more boxy. But the problem is how the actual hill goes. Or alternatively, this is what I'm going to do. Yes, I am going to do that, and I am going to do that. I know those are regular mediums, and then guess what? That's all going to become woodland too. There we go. Solves the problem. It very easily solves the problem. Perfect. I want to say perfect. Not quite perfect, but not too bad. Not too bad overall. There we go. Awesome. So that's what we can do there. That's probably going to look a little bit better. Honestly, that's a very small farm. I'm thinking of just trying to do something where that would expand somebody else's farm, but maybe, I don't know. I really do not know. In fact, these farms aren't exactly the largest in size. I say that as we have a look at this farm, and these farms really aren't that large at all. These aren't that big whatsoever. But that's starting to look really a lot better now. Both sides of the river are starting to look more like they actually are lived in, and things are actually there. I tell you what, let's give another farm bit a go and see what comes of it. So can we create another farm just here and see what ends up being made. For that, the first thing we need to do is delete all of these rocks, which I really dislike. There we go. And then what I am going to do is, I'm going to, once the farm's built, I'm going to get rid of these trees and replace them with bushes, just to see what we end up with there. So for this farm, I am going to have obviously a road. A very slow basic road. There it is, a little dirt road. 2 lane, 1 lane, 2 lane, there we go. One like that. And I will have that, switch all of that off. I'll stick that going into the farm. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's do it going to the farm like that. So you have a path off and you're going off into the farm. The farmhouse will be stuck in here. In fact, let's pop the farmhouse in to try it out. Farm, let's see what we have. Availability, that's not a good one. It's not exactly what I'm after. What's that? I mean, that could be used for something. So I'll throw that in for something. What I'm after, a little, yeah, sure, why not? We'll stick one of those in. A little processing thing, sure. Not one of those. There you go. And perhaps what's this? Oh, little. These are good. These are good. I like these. It's just a tiny little thing to produce power. Probably will not need it. But let's see what that... In fact, let's get rid of that for now. We'll come back to that one. Come back to that one. Okay. Little farm shed. Yeah, sure. Could do. There you go. Okay, so that's the entire... that farm area. Now what I'm going to do is pop in some of the flooring. Flooring? Yes, sure. Which ones did I use over here? That's the... This is a... I'm trying to find the same sort of ground layer. I just do not know what it is. Nope. Nope. Field, probably, that's why. Field. Oh, that's interesting. No. No. None of this is what I'm after. That's just tufts of grass. Okay, well, I'm sure... Well, I guess I'll look for something else instead. Let's just look for decal. Let's see what decals we have. We have a lot of interesting decals, that's for sure. Dirt decal, here we go. That could do well. Just all the way around the edges. We just stick these decals and then we'll work on it from there. Let's have a look at where and how we're going to put these in. In fact, let's play this first. Have this build up. Let's have these houses build up. I know they're going to be complaining about electricity momentarily, but have this build up and then we work from that, because this is a larger farm. You can see those are smaller. This is a bigger farm. It needs a bit more going on in it. Quickly now. Come on, come on. All of the frames. None of the frames. And there we go. We have some farmland. Okay, now I can place some of this in. Now these decals, no matter how many of these we have, it should not, in theory, slow anything down. And I say in theory because you never know. It might slow everything down. But I want to place some of these along the side, as if it looks like, see, that looks like more like a farm. And then we'll have, from there we can always go out. So we'll do something like that. We'll leave this area. We might put some bushes and trees or something there. And then we'll do the main area of the farm. Not that one. Not that decal. There we go. And then we can start the actual farm. So I'm thinking we can do the actual farm. Perhaps. Actually, could we have... Not that. Not that. I know what kind I want, but it's finding it that's the matter now. In fact, that's not bad. And I'm sure I can get that to do something. There we go. Okay. And then I can just copy that all the way up. And let's see what we get. So I'll use the move it tool. In fact, I'll just use the move it tool and move this one just that little bit there. There we go. And I'll copy them. And let's see what we have. Perfect. I say perfect, it's not really perfect, but it's doing alright. There we go, all the way up. And then we'll add in them more when we need to. So where we need to add more, we will. So now I can always add, well, I can't really add more there right now, but that's not doing too badly. That's not what I want to do. Now what I can do is I can say, well, I tell you what, we'll get rid of that tree and that tree. Let's add one more layer, or one more line. Like that. You know what? That will do. That'll do quite nicely. How to get rid of this, I wish I knew. There we go. I'll then select 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll clone you guys a few times along here. Perfect. That's looking really good. And then of course in the middle we are going to do some other things, so it is going to work slightly differently as soon as we get into the middle of it. But I can then say, I'll tell you what, I will also clone you guys and pop you up here. That will do. There we go. So that's a whole new farm area. It's not completed, of course, but look at that. That's starting to look really quite nice. Now what I could do is I could say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll stick a little road through here, and we'll make the farm come out this side, and then we'll, I don't know, have another few farmhouses back here or something back here that could, in theory, connect up to these, and then we can do some fancy stuff there. Of course, we don't have anything in the farm at the moment. It's just bare, but that's all right. Could I perhaps do that? There we go. Can I move these higher up? Hold on. Is there a way to have one texture? I mean, I guess those textures are correct like that, but that's not looking terrible. Obviously, this shape will need to be adjusted. Some of these shapes will need to be adjusted too, but we're going to work on that. It's just roughly getting things in at this point in time. Let's put some more roads down. Here we go. It's a road that's going to run alongside. There we go. Right up to the end. That's another little farm road of some sort. You do see these in Britain as well. You do see these farm roads. And we'll have, again, we're going to go for farm. And farm, there we go. And let's stick something else here. What's this? That doesn't look great. That really doesn't look great at all. No. Okay, well, maybe silo. Let's get a nice silo. Mortar silo? No. Grain. How about grain? Nope. Okay, maybe I need some more farm stuff. I think I probably need more farm-related equipment, or should I say, more farm-related items. Assets, that's it, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, this is going to complain about everything momentarily, but that's alright. We can get away with throwing one of these in and just see what it does. What do these guys now complain about? Apart from workers. They have electricity, it's just water. I'm assuming it actually just needs that. Oh, it does. It just needs that to get the water running on it. That's fine. There you go. So now we have something going on here. We have some water there. That's not a problem. So now it would be, maybe I should have built that closer now, so we wouldn't have to stick another one in, because that's not quite connecting to this where we want it, which is unfortunate. Also, I could do though, just run. There we go. Let's run that down there, and potentially even run some water down there. What does this do? Wind speed 5. I'm not sure. I'll just stick another one of these in. It doesn't really matter. At this point in time, this is just a temporary measure, ensuring that these actually do produce what needs to be produced. So now we have some farms in this area. I can get rid of some of these farms, which is the entire idea. So we can say goodbye, and I can get rid of the zoning for all of this as well. There you go. So slowly we're just getting rid of those things and putting in some more realistic. Oh, that was a not clever, was it? There we go. Just realised these are probably the more realistic ones, as opposed to... Though, I don't know which ones are better. I really don't. But there we go. There we have it. So that should help somewhat. Who's complaining about taxes? Somebody's always complaining about taxes. What's wrong with you? You're now abandoned. What am I looking for? Not that. That. Oh, I see. I haven't gone ahead and done this. That's what I was supposed to do, and then set you guys to have a tax relief. That was the idea. That was the plan. So now that's abandoned. That's just going to... Well, that's just rubbish. I wish... Oh dear. Never mind. Let's just ignore that for now. And continue with this. Things are running all rightish here. Of course, we're trying to avoid... What's the main problem is that we have a lot of farms in a very small area here. And that's obviously not correct. What we should have is this. This is what we should have. So, you know, a little bit of a farm, and in little areas. So you'd have one farm there, one farm there, one there, one there. We'll have one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many. So let's go ahead and build this area up too. So I'll probably let's use the same ground cover. I mean, why not? Let's use the same ground cover, and we'll just copy that one over. Let's find a place to build this particular farm. In fact, I'm going to stick that down there, and then I'm going to delete all these rocks, because knowing my luck, they're going to be trouble later on. There we go. Now we'll grab this, and we'll figure out where we're going to have the farm. So I think if we do the farm along here, like that, and then I'm not sure, we shouldn't really put a road around here, but I do suppose if we could do that and then bring this down, cover the area in dirt, cover the edge in dirt, that's one possibility as well. So let's go for the decal and have a look. This one. There we go. If we could start with this and then perhaps place that around the area to start with. I might even delete some of this, add some tufts of grass and things like that. Some of them do need to be moved, of course. Yeah, a little bit of dirt all the way along there, and then we can build from that. We'll move each one of these and maybe even rotate them a bit. There you go. And there. That one needs to come out a little bit. Okay, so now we've got sort of a dirt edge. I keep pressing the escape button. That's definitely the wrong button to be pressing. Probably pause this as well. Now I'm going to grab these and let's go ahead and build our farm. So let's clone this. Let's see exactly what we can do. So that's the shape of the farm, most likely. I'm going to use procedural objects to perhaps cut it down a little bit, and we'll do yeah, let's do this. There we go. that's looking pretty good. Slight gap there, but I'll fix that gap. Yep, that does look pretty good. Right, let's go ahead and grab... Oh, let's fix the gap first, as I said I would. And now there's a gap there. And there shouldn't be a gap here. But just in case, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clone these. And stick them right there. Then I'm going to do the same here. I know in the middle I'm going to change these, but just so I have an idea, I think it's just a good idea for me to stick these in so that I have an idea. Okay, next up I'll just grab, let's say 3 of them, and then clone those 3. Like that. Not that, not that. I'll then go ahead and just grab... What have you done? Go away. No, you go away. I'll then just grab 2. And do that. And then we'll probably use these 2 up here as well to make the rest of our area. There we go, that's probably good enough. I'll then... What have I brought up at? I'll move these 2 closer in. And I'll just get 1. And I'll start adding 1. And I know it looks a little bit odd at the moment with the weird shape. But I'm about to fix that. Provided what I try works. Okay, so trying to fix this really weird shape. All I need to do is I need to select one of these. I need to go procedural objects. No, I don't. I need to press M. Select that. Do I turn that into procedural object? There it is. Convert to procedural object. I can then press procedural object. Edit. I'll grab... Oops. Grab you 2, lift it up, grab that, and that's actually pretty good. There you go, that's going to blend in okay-ish, and we can do the same to each and every one of these. So I'll just go ahead and press M, select you, select you, select you, you, and you. Change them all to procedural objects, and let's hope this actually works. Edit, and all I need to do is click you. Oh no, that's the wrong one that I've turned to procedural object, isn't it? Yeah, that's the wrong one. I've selected the wrong thing to turn into a procedural object. Well, that's rubbish. Doesn't really matter. That's the one I wanted. Let's try that again. Procedural object. Edit you. And just grab those 2. Lift it up. And it does start looking a little bit better. Now that's going to take a little bit of time. Probably not something to do all the way through right now, but that is another farm area done, and I think that's going to look pretty good once it is completed. Now, given the number of farms I've added in these areas, I think I can get rid of a lot more. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of all of that. All of that's just going to disappear now. Perfect. Now let's see what happens. Now we should have good usage on these little farms, but very little should go in and around it. There you go. So you have 1 truck going there, I've had one truck going in there. I'm just watching to see how much goes in and out of this area. Should not be a lot. I see one again. There's one. I see another one. That's two. So they're just going about doing their business, doing whatever they need to do. That's going out. That's going really well. Going really well. I think I'm quite happy about how that is panning out. Anything else that's potentially something to worry about? Not too sure actually. I think that's pretty good. The detailing is starting to slowly come in. Did I say I wanted to turn this all into trees? I cannot remember. I might have. Might have said that. What I am going to do is I'm going to put some roads in for the farmland, so I know where things are going to have to go. I think this is a pretty nice place to stick a road, so I'm going to pop a road in from here. Just going to do a road that just goes right up to the end like that, but from here I'm also going to have another road, and then let's do a road along here, just a short way across, and that can be where another set of farmland stuff is. So that's where some more is going to go. That's going to look pretty good, I think. Over here I'm not sure how should I do this one. So you're driving along, I'm trying to work this one out. So you're driving along, there's a road there, and that goes to some sort of farm. You can see you're driving along, there's another road that goes there to some sort of farm. That's not all too ridiculous. So on this one you're driving along. You can see the farm over on this side. Now that's quite awesome. So once that's filled up, that's going to look, I think that's going to look really, really nice once that's all filled up. So you're driving along, you can see the farm, which is really cool. You stop for the police car, apparently not if you're a Sainsbury's truck, and you have another way into a farm. That's alright. That is pretty alright. And then you come down and you're down to the traffic light. Lovely. Okay. So I'm not displeased with how that's panning out. That's starting to look really quite nice. Got a fire though. So once this is all put together, I think this is going to do a really nice job overall. Let's get out of that. Fire brigade. Fire brigade. Fire brigade. Here comes the fire engine. Why did you stop? Just a single engine. Normally two respond. Oh, I suppose I managed to put the fire out quite quickly. Fair enough. That's completely fair. Right, okay. So, I think with that, I'm going to end this stream for today. We have managed to get some things done. That's certainly starting to look... I want to try and... I mean, from this angle... Let's try and get a screenshot. See what we'll do, just to end this, let's actually put something here that's going to look like a farm that's been used. Let's see. Wheat? No. No need to put wheat. Because some of these, maybe it doesn't look too much. Ah, there we go. That's it. That's what I wanted. What's that? Vegetables. Is there anything else we can use? Wheat, young. Sure. Look, let's do this. I'm not sure how this is going to pan out. I really do not know. I hope it pans out well. This is probably going to cause my computer to completely and utterly die. But maybe it'll be worth it. I wish the wheat would remain the same colour. Who has wheat that keeps changing colour? Okay, whose smart idea was that? Oh, I see the idea. It's just it's not what I want. Okay, this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to throw down a whole bunch of it, and then we're going to have to pick the right colour and then use it. Okay. I do not want that colour, that colour. There we go. You stay. You can stay. I got rid of the middle part. That's what I've got to be careful of. That's what I've got to be really, really careful of. Okay. Let's see how this now all fits together. It doesn't matter if it's slightly off in colour. It might look nice if it does that. There you go. Nope, not you. Not you. You and you. Move along here. There you go. That could be interesting. Could I clone you and would you give me the same colours? Of course you don't. Why would you? Why would you give me the same colours? That would be ludicrous. Of course. Well, now I regret starting this part, but you get the idea as to what I want this to look like, and what I actually want to happen. It looks like the dustbin trucks are also getting to this area, which is important. We need to ensure that the dustbin trucks can get here. For some reason, it's a strange one with the dustbin trucks, because it's amazing how those two are the exact same they have the exact same problem. Could I get 16 by 16 in here? Let me type in 16 by 16. 16 wheat young. Ah, that's the problem. That's the problem. You see? That right there is a big problem. Oh, I did that again. It doesn't really matter that those are missing because we can always fill them in. But yeah, I can always click this and go here. Let's I don't know. Clone. There. There. Done. That's how easy that is. Let's go ahead and stick another line in. It is a shame that the colours just do not match. But to get an idea of how this can look, we can just do this. And I think it just gives us an idea, as I said. There we go. That's not bad at all. And as a matter of fact, if I was to go down to, I don't know, that kind of level, that is a very, very realistic looking farm. I'm actually quite pleased with that overall. So that is where I'm going to end it. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Cities Skylines. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. Also, you can find me on social media at ecgadgetlp for both Twitter and Instagram. That's all from me, and I'll see you guys next time in Cities Skylines.